Welcome back, brave souls, to Sinister Snapshots, where nightmares come to life and darkness lurks. Buckle up as we join the Warrens in a terrifying search for the power to defeat a demon nun and set a family free. Kindly leave a thumbs up and subscribe to our dark adventures. The movie opens with a meeting between paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren and the Lutz family in Amityville, New York in 1976. The Lutz family, who moved into the infamous Amityville house after a tragic murder a year earlier, claims to have experienced paranormal activities. During a seance, Lorraine has a terrifying vision in which she sees herself as Ronald DeFeo Jr. on the night of the murders. She witnesses herself committing the murders of Ronald's parents and 3 siblings. Lorraine also sees a demonic nun and witnesses a man's death. Overwhelmed, she screams, and Ed helps her out of the vision, offering comfort. 3 years later in Enfield, England, Janet Hodgson lives with her mother Peggy, sister Margaret, and brothers Johnny and Billy. The family is struggling financially since the father left them. At night, Janet experiences a disturbing presence and starts speaking in a growling voice, claiming the house is hers. Margaret witnesses strange occurrences as well, like hearing a voice behind her repeating the statement. Meanwhile, the Warrens are dealing with skepticism regarding their Amityville case during a talk show. Ed gets into an argument defending Lorraine's clairvoyance. In the Hodgson's home, strange incidents continue, such as Janet being found on the living room floor without any recollection of how she got there, and Janet denies pounding on Margaret's door when she hears the sound. Janet and Billy encounter eerie events as well, including a toy fire truck moving on its own. Janet experiences more eerie occurrences, including the channels changing on their own on the television and a ghostly figure growling, "My house." At the Warrens' house, Lorraine sees a vision involving a demonic nun and a terrifying vision involving Ed's death. Later, Janet, who had tied her hands to her bed, ends up on the floor of her room and the kid's bed starts shaking. Peggy then witnesses a dresser being shoved against the door, leading the Hodgsons to seek refuge with their neighbors. Peggy calls the police, who find nothing unusual in their home till they witness a chair moving on its own. At the Warrens' house, Ed paints a picture of the demonic nun he saw in a dream. Lorraine and their daughter Judy hear a noise in the hallway. Judy goes to check and finds the demon nun. Lorraine follows it into the office, where it brings the painting to life, causing Lorraine to have a vision of Ed's death. A wooden spike impales him, and Lorraine starts screaming and writing violently in her Bible, only to be brought back to reality by Judy. In Enfield, paranormal researchers Maurice Gross and Anita Gregory, among others, get involved as more people become aware of the case. During an interview, Janet speaks in the voice of an old man named Bill Wilkins, demanding everyone leaves his home. The haunting continues to escalate, leaving the family and investigators unsettled and seeking answers. When awoken in the middle of the night, Billy encounters a creature resembling the Crooked Man. Frightened, Billy alerts his mother and Janet appears possessed again, reciting a nursery rhyme and letting out a horrifying sound that causes her to pass out and foam at the mouth. A priest approaches the Warrens for help with the Enfield case. Despite Lorraine's hesitation due to a vision of Ed's death, they decide to assist. Arriving in Enfield, they meet the Hodgsons, and Lorraine consoles Janet, who is experiencing isolation due to the haunting. The Warrens, along with other investigators, attempt to communicate with the spirit at the Hodgsons' home. Janet channels the voice of Bill Wilkins, but Ed intervenes with his cross necklace, causing the spirit to sound distressed before becoming calm. The Warrens stay with the Hodgsons, and Janet experiences a terrifying attack in a room filled with crosses, prompting a rush to unlock the door and rescue her. As the evidence is presented, Anita remains skeptical, thinking Janet is playing the game. The children develop a liking for the Warrens, and Ed buys an Elvis record for them to listen to. When the record player stops working, Ed picks up a guitar and plays "Can't Help Falling in Love with You," inspiring the kids not to let bullies get them down. Lorraine speaks privately with Maurice, who hints at their involvement in a significant historical event. He reveals his desire to communicate with his deceased daughter. During their stay with the Hodgsons family, the Warrens encounter several unsettling incidents. Peggy brings Ed to the floor basement, where she believes she sees someone behind him. However, a ghostly vision of Bill grabs Peggy from the water, but Ed helps to break her free. Another night, the kids hear noises from the kitchen, and Johnny investigates, hearing a bully. Janet mysteriously disappears and reappears with a knife, causing chaos in the kitchen. Janet is found stuck in an electrical box, uttering unintelligible messages before being rescued. Anita presents video evidence to the Warrens, suggesting Janet may have faked some of the paranormal activities. Peggy asks everyone to leave the house, and Janet confesses that it threatened her family if she didn't comply. As the Warrens board the train to leave, Lorraine remains uncertain about Janet's alleged faking. Ed plays Bill's voice recordings and realizes they are connected, forming the message, "Help me, it won't let me go." Lorraine enters another vision and discovers the true threat is a demon nun. They rush back to the Hodgson's home to decipher a riddle left by Bill, leading them to understand they need to find the demon's name to have power over it. Upon returning to the Hodgson's home, the Warrens find the family locked outside during a rainstorm. Ed attempts to break in through the back as lightning strikes a tree, creating a sharpened stem resembling the object Lauren saw in her vision that killed Ed. Realizing the demon's name is Valak, Lorraine searches her Bible and confirms it is from her previous encounter. She rushes inside to rescue Ed. Inside the house, Ed is partially blinded when a pipe bursts, spraying steam in his face. He faces an attack from the Crooked Man before reaching Janet's room. She stands by the shattered window with a dangerous opening onto the sharp stem. Ed manages to save her by holding on to the curtains as Lorraine arrives to help. Valak emerges and prevents Lorraine from reaching Ed. Lorraine utters Valak's name, condemning the demon back to hell. She then rushes to save Ed and Janet just in time and saves them both. The following morning, the haunting has ceased, and Peggy and Janet express gratitude to the Warrens for their assistance. It is noted that the Enfield haunting became one of history's most notorious cases, with Peggy continuing to live in the house for 40 years until she died in the same chair as Bill Wilkins. Returning home, the Warrens add the Crooked Man turntable to their museum, placing it across from Annabelle. They share a touching moment when Lorraine puts on "Can't Help Falling in Love with You," and the couple dance together. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification button so you don't get left behind when we embark on our next dreadful tale.